Hello and welcome to highlights of the last and final day at Henley Royal Regatta 2018. Conditions today were absolutely sparkling. Some very quick boats and a lovely tailwind to push them along. We're going to start with the Prince Albert. This is Imperial versus Goldie.
A very small lead for Imperial as they come out of the top of Temple Island. Temple Island provides a little bit of protection, and then we pick them up on this catamaran camera running side by side. And Imperial just looking to find a rhythm here. On about 1 minute, the crews tend to just come off the pace slightly, getting something more sustainable for the 6 minutes or so that are ahead. But I think it looks to me like the crew from Goldie have made a strong move here and said, we can't let you get away, we can't let clear water open up. And looks like they're putting their effort in now in this second quarter. If something's going to happen, it's really got to happen now in the Goldie boat.
The cheers are now starting down the enclosures. These boys know they're a couple of hundred metres from winning Henley. What have Goldie got? Can they push this crew to the end? They're coming back down towards us, down this course. They've got 100 metres left.
This is the camera on the thing we call the progress box. It marks the position down the course for everyone who's sitting in those grandstands. They can see who's in front. Now they can see it with their own eyes. It's the crew from Imperial College, just with about 5 strokes now coming towards the line. Goldie are sprinting, but they're not able to close that gap. And we see them come across the line with a win for Imperial College over the crew from the Goldie Boat Club in Cambridge.
Any Henley win is special, but for Leander Club, often called the Pink Palace, it's this year that they're celebrating their bicentenary. 200 years looking for their 200th Henley win. Their first chance of the day would come in the Stewards.
The young guns blasting out the blocks there, trying to put the older combination under pressure.
I think they will be feeling the pressure. They're out there now. They're out of the shelter of the island. There's a little bit of breeze, but not much. The younger crew on the left will just be able to see the puddles now out of the corner of their eye. If they're going to respond, I think now is the moment they have to do something. They can't really wait for the enclosures. Now at the moment it's a little quiet patch before you get to the enclosures. They're going to have to do something now. There's plenty of experience racing at Henley in that younger crew, and now they've got to use that. Because they're now right in front of the grandstands and coming down towards the finish line at Henley 2018.
Yeah, and this is could be a big moment for Leander as well, being the centenary year of 200th anniversary of the club. The club's won 199 Henley titles, and this would be fitting for it to be the 200th.
And Mark, it feels like an honour to be sat beside you as a Leander ex-captain for this pretty incredible moment. Yeah, 200 years old, Leander Club, just around the corner from the finish line. Coming down towards the line. This could be their 200th win at Henley Royal Regatta. They're just 10 strokes from the line, and this could be an incredibly special moment for that club, Leander, based here on the River Thames in Henley.
Yeah, it was a great kind of, the way they went about the race. They didn't get flustered by the younger guys going up quick as they're coming into the line. This is a huge marker for the club. 200 years old and 200 wins at Henley.
On the subject of history, Mahe Drysdale was looking to equal the record at Henley for the most wins in the Diamond Sculls at 6. It looked like it was all going wrong though, early in this final.
So Kettle Bjorch setting a blistering early pace. Mahe Drysdale being a little bit more conservative, but he will need to stay in touch. It may be the very early stages of the race, but he doesn't want Bjorch to get too much further ahead than that. But he's just maintaining it at the moment, Drysdale, isn't he? Not falling off the pace any further. He beat Graves from the USA yesterday. Petter Tuft on Friday by 2.5 lengths. At the moment it's Bjorch's, but Drysdale, I think he's narrowed the gap a little bit in the last few hundred metres. Good race. Drysdale looking to try and equal the record. At the moment, that's not going to happen. He may have to wait another year before he wins a 6th Diamonds. Kettle Bjorch will be hurting right now. Mahe Drysdale just on a push here. He knows it's now or never as far as this year's regatta is concerned. He's not got very long left, has he? And I don't think he's making much of an impression there on Bjorch.
No, it's kind of stuck there, the distance. He hasn't closed it up, but he will keep piling it on. It's one thing that Mahe does. He will just keep going.
I fear we'll know he's beaten now, because Borch is not too far from the line. The Norwegian,
He's going for him. Mahe's going for him now.
and can he
This is
catch
going to
him?
be close.
Yeah, he's dragged himself
He's
right
got a
back
sniff.
in.
This is impressive.
The finish line can't
Oh,
come
wow.
quickly enough for Kettle
We'll talk
Bjork,
about
the
the Henley
Norwegians.
course.
The Norwegians led
Wow.
from Temple Island, but Mahe Drysdale, the New Zealander, has he timed this to perfection? He has. Borch is running out of steam in front of Stewards on Henley Royal Regatta finals day. What a place to do that. And
is
Mahe
incredible.
Drysdale with an astonishing victory
Wow.
in the Diamonds. It's his 6th win in the event to equal Stuart Mackenzie's record, and he's done that in incredible style.
Two of the big finals in the afternoon were the Open 8, the REMENHAM and the Grand, and they both featured Australian crews. So how was it going to go for the women and the men from Down Under?
Quarter of a length down the GB boat. The Australians just putting a good shift in on the Berkshire station, taking the early initiative in this one. Stretching that to half a length. Good work from the Australian boat. As we approach the midway point of the race, Great Britain with some work to do.
Yeah, they've got some work to do. It just looks a bit short. I wouldn't say the Australian boat looks clean, but there's probably some more oomph going down in there.
But it's still game on for either boat here.
The Brits are actually moving up now.
They
so
are.
it looks like they're coming into the race a bit more, growing in confidence down the track, trying to ask the Australian boat questions of themselves. You know, they've gone out too hard too early. Are they expending too much energy? Are they not moving efficiently enough? Just those little doubts in the back of their minds.
Great Britain now are accelerating. They're the faster moving boat right now.
Yeah, they look like they're inching back on the Australian crew.
Last couple of 100 metres in front of Stewards. There's the Australian boat.
You saw the Australian Cox have a glimpse across there. She wants more now. She doesn't want this to come to the line.
She's asking that Australian boat to dig deeper, and they may have made the clinical move here.
Responded well there. That glimpse across, knowing where the British boat were. She's asked her crew to react, to respond, close the door early, not letting them come back and go to that sprint finish in the last 100 metres.
So they had moved to within half a length, the GB boat, on the Australians, but the Australians had the response and they've pulled away, and it'll be victory for them by a length in the REMENHAM Challenge Cup here at Henley Royal Regatta, the National Training Centre of Australia, with 3/4 of a length to spare on the GB 8.
So the final of the Grand Challenge Cup gets underway. It's the men from the National Training Centre of Australia on the right of your pitch here, and the youngsters from Romania. Look at that high rated start, over 50 strokes a minute on the start.
Look at the boat just bouncing all over the place. The amount of power that's going down through these guys, and they're moving away from the Australians off the first 10 strokes.
I did see them in a heat in the European Championships last year, and they maintained this all the way, and they won the heat. Didn't do so well in the final, but they do have that one-off capacity, and this could be that race.
At the moment, you can't see there's much change, can you? The Romanians really staying on top of this. The Aussies, it's not a crew they normally race in. They're in their fours and quads and stuff like you said. So will they be drilled enough to keep under this kind of pressure to keep it together?
They have got 3/4 of a length on the Australians, who beat the British National 8 yesterday. This is a sensational performance from Romania. They've got about 700 metres to hold on to it.
They need to dig in now.
2:52 we're seeing on the time sheet.
Second record by a second.
Yeah, that's the record. It was equalled yesterday by the Australians. The Romanians are moving quicker. It is quicker conditions than yesterday. Will the grand record be under threat? The Romanians won't care about the record, because the Romanians want to win this race.
Look at the faces of those guys. They are having a bit of a peak, digging in really hard. They're just going to have to... Oh, well, this is amazing. It looks like the Australians are starting to come back a little bit.
They are starting to come back, Adrian. You're absolutely right. You called it right. I don't see the Romanians hanging on. This will be a sensational second half from the Australians.
So, well, minute 40 to go.
Minute 40. I mean, you do think in the tailwind conditions, the 8 that goes out first will lead. They will dominate. So let's hear it for those
Half a length
Romanians.
on the progress board.
Closest to us, Vlad Dragus, Akabai, Demi Adrian in the 2 seat. That's Martina in 3. Konstantin Radu in the 4 seat. Adam Constantine in 5, Bejan Pirigi, Alexandre Cosmin Macavie, the stroke man who's led that magical race.
Can they respond? There's a canvas now. Can they respond? The Aussies have done a big push to get back on terms.
You know, there's plenty of water for the Aussies. The Aussies are going to win this, Adrian. That's been so fantastic to watch the race. And the Romanians, well, they're shorting up now. What's the race?
It's level now. Yeah, the Aussies are now they're through.
This is
That's
rain wars,
fantastic.
isn't it? The Romanians, I think they're at 46 strokes a minute. I've just got on my rating watch. Is that right? I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I think they've really checked their bodies can't cash.
46. What are the Australians at? Let's take their rating. The Australians at 44. That's 44 v 46. There's still about 300 metres to go to the finish of the final of the Grand Challenge Cup.
Amazing.
The Australians at the top of your picture from the National Training Centre in Canberra. Romanians, they have led this race all the way, and they are fighting to stay with the Australians. But what a sensational final!
The Romanians are keeping it together, but the Australians are going to. Oh, that's incredible! They are going to be chasing that final. Look at the stroke rate now coming through to the finish there. 6 or 7 strokes to go.
Unbelievable race, unbelievable run. Australia will win the Grand Challenge Cup for the 4th time in that nation's history. Brilliant race, what a fantastic contest. That's what rowing's about. Sensationally set up by the young Romanians from Dinamo and Stoia clubs. This was a race.
That's an amazing race. What was that, just over half a length in the end?
Henley finalists are usually the best in the business. It doesn't mean it always goes according to plan though. This is the Hambledon pairs.
They had some steering issues there on the far side, on the right-hand side from McKellar and Taylor, but they seem to be in a much more long, steady rhythm than the crew on the left-hand side here from Marlow and Ban.
Yeah, for my looking at it, it looks like the crew on the right-hand side. Oh, wow, they're close to that boom.
Oh, that's twice they've almost hit the boom. And in a pair, if you hit the boom, it's a catastrophe. It's all over.
Yeah, with one oar each, I mean, you really don't have any control if the other person hits something.
I did it once. I was up, hit the booms, end of regatta. Terrible. You don't want to do that. Stay away from the booms. Yeah, but they're still up by about half a canvas, looks like. But if they keep moving, maybe they've got issues with steering. They're always going to the right-hand side. Ooh.
Wow, you can see the bow woman there, Harriet Taylor, looking across. Look, I mean, it's all part of it. Steering is just as important a part of technique. I mean, we're looking here, this steering has cost them the race.
I think it has. I think you're right. They've had to manage their way down the booms down there, and it's taken them away from the race. And the crew here, looking great from Ban and Marlow, just like we talked earlier, got into their own rhythm and done their own thing. Now that Marlow and Ban are under umpire's warning for moving across, we'll see what the effect is now. Oh, let's see what happens here. This is going to be tight. And the Leander crew just pushed there. They've seen the umpire's warning, Ban and Marlow, and they've just pushed to try and get themselves back on terms.
Wow, what a finish. This is one of the closest finishes we're going to have, I think, here. It does look like the young pairing, Long and Scott. On the left-hand side of your screen, it looks like they're in the lead here.
It does look like they're going to keep it.
Even extending their lead here. This is amazing.
Yeah, they've handled the pressure supremely well, haven't they? Even with the steering issues, they've really stayed on top of this.
It's Hannah's first time here at Henley. Heidi's raced here twice before.
Oh, they're as close to the boobs again. What a great race for Marlow and Ban.
Wow, what a finish there.
Half a length.
Well, here's a little walk that you couldn't have done just a couple of days ago. All these boat racks are cleared out. That's it for Henley for 2018. A privilege to be part of it here on the ground and, of course, on YouTube. Black Monday beckons, I'm afraid. We'll see you next year.